Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. I tell you what, before I went live and before my brother came into the window, I was like just doing just going over my notes and like I'm of course looking at myself in the camera. I've been stressed. This Arsenal transfer window is taking its toll. I was doing all the exercises, smiling and like trying to stretch out the lines. It's still here.
That's not good, bro.
I know. I need a holiday, man. I need a holiday. But anyway, no doubt you probably noticed I've got my brother back for the Wednesday afternoon show here. We'll see if we can knock this one out of the park inside an hour. We've got some news in regards to Ian Wright talking about a particular person who's our record signing still at Arsenal. Had a good AFCON. Yeah, relatively good. Yeah, it's been like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Yeah, I can't remember who was the good person. Who was the good one? Was it Jekyll or Hyde, Ralph?
I think it was Hyde, wasn't it? Hyde was the yeah, I think it's Hyde, isn't it? Hyde's the it's the
normal
worst part
version.
of the two.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, and then we've got some news in regards to the gentleman who's now left Arsenal, now left the building, has gone to sign for Barcelona. Here, he's signed actually, and yeah, I'm going to talk about my 11 going forward. Now we've chipped away at the old deadwoods. We've sold one or two players, and some players, the majority of the players, have gone out on a free. So I'm hoping my brother might have some thoughts about his desired 11, but we'll get into that on the other side of this music intro. I'm still trying to stretch out all the stress lines, man. Still not working.
You need to moisturize before you go to bed, bro. You need to moisturize before you go to bed.
It's not working.
I'm sure maybe we can be fingers crossed, maybe we can be sponsored by some kind of pharmaceutical company that help that can help with de-stressing.
Pharmaceutical company, not a moisturizer company, a pharmaceutical company. Cheers, Ralph.
Well, you got to aim big, bro. You got to aim big. Yeah.
Dear me. Anyway, guys, welcome back to Cannon Fodder. Yeah, on a Wednesday afternoon here, see if we can knock this one out of the park inside and now. But anyway, without further ado, Ralph, how you been keeping, man? Anyway, how you been keeping?
Yeah, I've been good. Today is my day off. I hit the gym. Yeah, I hit the gym early this morning, and I tell you what, there's no leveler of appreciating your body when you go to a gym and you do a cardio workout and you think, yeah, I can knock this out. And at the end of the session, you're still lying there in pools of sweat, thinking, what was I thinking? Why am I doing this? But no, every day is a progressive day, and I appreciate it. But it was a good session, and I'm looking forward to the next one. But I've got to say that because it makes me feel that I've got to stretch myself. So yeah, good. I'm good. Unlike the team that we both support at this moment in time, and those who are looking as well. Say no more.
Yeah, say no more. All right, so there's two parts of a whole, actually, two parts and a little bit. First up, I did say before the bump, there's some news from not news, no, there's some thoughts from Ian, my brother's a legend. Ian Wright warns Nico Pepe that he is in the last chance saloon at Arsenal. Now, Wright says he's not sure that Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta is ready to put his faith in Pepe, but says that he should given that he has seen him in the Cameroon at the AFCON, he says up to this point he's not used Pepe in any way that makes me think he's got love for Pepe. Actually mentioned on another podcast. I'm not going to mention their names. No free promo here. He went on to say that I think Pepe might be in a last chance saloon with the amount of games he hasn't played. I'd like to see something from him. When you watch him in African Cup of Nations, where I think the defender is even harder with them guys, with how athletic, how good and how intelligent they are. You've got to do a lot more. And when you watch him, he does it. Why aren't we getting that out of him? If that means playing him in a false nine or playing him in a position where he's just free to get on the ball and runs at people. But he is, after all, in the last chance bar, Ralph. Yeah, I know we've spoken more than a few occasions in regards to Nico Pepe, but what do you think? You know, Ian Wright is actually saying there, black and white, that Pepe is in the last chance bar. I've got to say, Ralph, I'm actually surprised that Arsenal didn't loan him out or even sell him in the January transfer window. He's still with us.
Well, I think that it goes to show where Arteta potentially Arteta's mind is thinking. He's probably thinking the same thing. He's probably thinking, well, I still need, you know, a rather rangy, you know, winger to be in the team somehow, because he's, you know, we're very short in that area anyway. I'm trying to remember. There was Pepe played really well. I'm thinking about last season, where I'm trying to think who was the right back. I think he played really well with Ainsley Maitland-Niles when we had him. There was some kind of like link play that the two of them seemed to understand, and I think it was one of the best games that he actually featured in.
Was it not with Cedric, Ralph? Was it not with Cedric?
It might be with Cedric.
Yeah,
it might be with Cedric. But Pepe is a conundrum. What we're talking? We're talking about what, 3 years ago since he's been in the team now.
I believe so. Yeah, 3 seasons.
3 years. You know, normally you hit your stride within maybe 2 years, a year, depending. You know, if you played in the Premiership before, 2 years if you're overseas, 3 years you should be hitting your stride. Okay, we can put the fact of change of managers can be distracting as well, but when you be given the chances, I think the end of last season he was coming to his own as well, wasn't he?
When the pressure was off.
When the pressure was off, that's one of the key drivers, the fact that you need players to perform when the pressure is on. You know, anyone can perform when the pressure is off, because you don't have that stress and strain of I need to, you know, to prove a point. I need to protect my place because I'm the best man that there is. So he's been there. He's been dropped, subbed. You know, every kind of like way that, you know, forward to try and cajole him into performing. If he feels that he has to do it under his own steam, I don't think Arteta now has got that mindset of keeping him any longer. You know, he'll get a shot of him if he has to. So yeah, last chance saloon. But then, if he does get rid of him, who do you have in his place?
Well, I mean, you could probably play Emerson Ferrer out on the wing, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could, I mean, as we have done anyway. Yeah. You know, I don't think we've really missed. Although I think maybe 2 matches we could have done with Pepe. I think the Everton match. I was still thinking that maybe the Everton match he could have played a part, and maybe even the Notts Forest match if that wasn't. If I think they hadn't gone, they're already gone, hadn't they, to the African Cup of Nations? If my dates are synced. He could have played a cup match anyway. I think Pepe could have played a cup match, but it is what it is. Last chance saloon. Final warning. Do or die. Whatever kind of adjectives you want to use. But the thing is, Alex, and I think that maybe it's a message slowly getting to some of these Arsenal players who are, I would say, young but a bit more established, is that when they go on the pitch, they know the fans are expecting, you know, we're expecting, we're waiting for a performance. You know, it's what it is, or what it has been. It's been inconsistently consistent. You know, you get little troughs of really good performances, and then you seem to have a steady level of not non-good performances. So
Mm,
that's got to flip. It's got to flip over at some time. And I think maybe Arteta's, you know, despite all the tactics and you know late stuff and everything else, maybe he's trying to like formulate a plan of having players that will perform. So maybe this could be the grand master plan of Pepe. Is, you know, is he gonna turn up when I want him to turn up, or is he gonna be consistently inconsistent? That makes my
mm,
decision a lot easier.
mm. I was just thinking, would the players be more fearful of their careers? You know, looking at what happened with William Saliba, Guendouzi, and like now with, you know, Obama being marginalised to the point where we got rid of him. So I'm just thinking, would the players be a little bit more mindful that now they've got a disciplinarian to the point where we know his man management skills is not the greatest after all. But yeah, last chance saloon, Pepe, you need to turn up, man. You need to turn up. You know, I think.
Um, when you mention about if the players are fearful, I don't think they're fearful yet. They've seen a few exits. You know, they may have, you know, again, like we always had this conversation, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, you know, unless someone decides to tweet it. If you remember a couple of seasons ago, there was someone leaking out stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
And then Arteta said that, you know, he got hold of whoever or whatever that person was doing. You know, we don't know who it is. You know, they know, and they're not saying anything. So at this moment
mm,
in time, we don't know who it is. But he's if he's trying to establish that kind of culture, um, maybe for the younger players, it'll be more of a okay, well, you know, that's the boss, and we can't, you know, we can't be doing that. I've seen what he's done. I think with
mm,
the maybe the more established players who want to challenge him, and I think really a boss or a manager should be challenged in a way by a player because it's like a two-way street. If I tell you I want you to do something and you don't do it, and I'm showing you what you've got to do, and you don't take it on board, then I've got the right to bench you, you know, bench you or put you
mm,
in the reserves until you actually, until we're either short or until we get to a point where I'm going to introduce you back in, but I want you to do the job that I'm asking you to do. You know, so maybe that kind of culture, maybe slightly coming back in, that kind of culture is prevalent in teams that are up there. You don't have to look at Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea. You know, you got owners, you got managers who don't take any kind of nonsense. Hence the
mm,
reason why they are where they are and where we are at this moment in time. So we've got a coach, potential manager in training, and he's having to learn the hard way. You know, he's put
mm,
his faith in a lot of the established players and never let him down consistently. So that's
mm,
when he got pulled into. It wasn't the fact that he tactically went in to get the youngsters. It's because we were deficient in certain areas that the youngsters came in. And when you have your youngsters like Saka and Emma Smith Rowe saying, "Well, I'm going to get this. I'm going to run with it as much as I can," to show the older heads what they should be doing, then that's when you have that kind of battle, and that's when you have the managers think, actually, that's what I need to do.
mm. Do you know, I was just thinking, Ralph, just now at this moment. I mean, when I was a youth worker almost 20 years ago, there was like an age limit that you could be a youth worker. I think at that time was probably 16, 17. And the main factors were if you're going to be working with young people, young children, they probably most likely won't respect you because you're probably almost the same age as them. Now, Arteta, as I understand, is age 39. So do you think there was probably a problem? The fact that, you know, I mean, I know Lacazette just turned 30. Obama was age 32. So do you think that was also a factor in his management skills? because they're probably saying, well, you're only a few years older than us anyway, Arteta. You're not really experienced. You've just come to Arsenal, but you're still almost in our same age bracket. So you think the age factor also came into the problems that he's had with Albania? I mean, we're never going to know the big story apart from hearing those 5 disciplinary breaches. So do you think there
But
was?
look at Aston Villa's Steve Gerrard. You know, how old is he? He's I want to say he's 40 yet, unless I'm guessing. You know, so he's got players in their 20s, maybe turning 30s now. I think it's the way that you set yourself up. You know, I think, gone are the days of having, like, I don't want to sound stereotypical or anything, but I think gone are the days where the manager was like a father figure. They were always the older person, as it were, and you had the youngsters running around, and the youngsters looked up to the manager and wouldn't say boo to a goose. I have to keep on going back to Ferguson, because Ferguson, like, when he got his young boys into the team, I think they had a lot of respect for him, because he knew that they were the next big talent, and they to their credit, they did become that. But they become that because he told them that he had faith in them, but they also knew where the line was drawn as well.
But also, he was an experienced manager by that time. I can't remember the previous clubs he had managed. The guy came to Man United with a wealth of experience already in the bag,
Yes.
and Arteta doesn't have
There you
that.
go. There you go. There you go. Again, another key ingredient. You have to fail at. This may not sound fair. You have to fail at smaller clubs in order to get your chance at the big clubs, because then you know that you can irk out those kind of like emotional decisions. When you've got a really good bunch of guys and you feel they're getting on, your decision can be slightly swayed if they do a mistake or something. You think, oh, okay, well, you know what, Johnny Duff, I know this person, I use him as an example. He's made a mistake. Johnny, next time when you get the ball, make sure you pass it sooner, or make sure you hold it in the right position, blah, blah, blah. But if Johnny does the same thing again, and an emotional manager would try and give him more of a chance and try and give him extra coaching, from what I believe. An experienced manager will say, no, I've asked you 2 times, it's cost us, you're benched. And then you have the battle of wills. You have the ego. That young player, John, is thinking, well, hang a minute now, it's just 2 mistakes. But the manager is saying, no, it's 2 mistakes that cost us. And you need to understand how important it is. When I give you an instruction, I want you to act on it. So that's where the battle of wills come in. I think maybe the battle of wills came in with Arteta. Players that knew that he was a former player, and maybe 1 or 2 egos decided to think, let's just test him, just see how he is. Yeah. Because if you remember, after we won the FA Cup, there was this promo video he done. He said he always talks to the team to try and get the team to be on side and to understand how important it is. But that doesn't need to be in an advert. That should come in with doors closed, no cameras, and you tell your teammates, you tell the team what's expected. Those are the basic standards. To see it launched out as a promo, I was thinking, well, okay, that looks good as a promo, but they should know that anyway. Why are you telling us? We all know that. The players know it. What are you pushing? You pushing more shirts, or what? So I feel a young manager will get tested a lot, because, like I said, it will become a battle of rules and age and attitude. Whereas with an older or elderly, or not elderly, an older statesman figure with experience can manage those players and say, okay, well, I can see you're taking the mickey. I allow you to do that just at one time, But if I see you do it again, or if I see you influencing other players to do that, now I'll knock it on the head. I'll make you run the pitch, run around the pitch about 5-10 times until I literally knock it out of you. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of lines that a manager who has got a lot of experience can actually say.
All right. The second segment, actually, just talking about the former captain who's now left Arsenal and signed for Barcelona, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. This report says that he took a 73% pay cut in order to leave Arsenal. Former Arsenal captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was so desperate to leave the Gunners that he took a 73% pay cut in order to join Barcelona. The 32-year-old completed a move to Nouveau Camp on deadline day, signing on an 18-month deal with the Catalans. Aubameyang had 18 months to run on his Arsenal contract, but the Gunners agreed to rip up his deal, given no European club had offered to take on his $300,000 a week salary. The Gunners felt that the short-term financial hit of allowing Aubameyang to leave on a free would pay off in the long run. But despite being available for free, the former Borussia Dortmund ace still had to compromise in order to get his move to Barcelona done. Yeah, I actually said before, you know, I had enough of Aubameyang, and he's now left. He's now left, and I'm just thinking. I know I spoke about it yesterday because I did say actually for the longest time that Arsenal weren't going to sign any player in this transfer window, and it's bare truth. It happened, and even now I felt a little bit shortchanged. Yesterday I was like, oh, I don't know what I was feeling yesterday. Probably a little bit numb, shortchanged, all those kind of negative adjectives there. But now, you know, literally a day on now from the transfer window. Yeah, I'm just thinking we needed to be ruthless. But with that, knowing Arsenal needed to buy a striker, needed to buy 2 midfielders, need a backup defender, we're short, Ralph. We're short. You just couldn't make it up. Was that the plan all along, Ralph? Was that the plan, literally, just to reduce the wage bill and not add or do a panic buy? What was the plan?
I was going to say, you remember when sometimes if Mum had to send one of us to go and get some groceries or whatever, she'd give us the money. She tells us what it is. We've got the list, and you know we've gone to the groceries. Come back, and she checks the change, and she said, "Hang on, now, what? You didn't check the change before you left the shop? Where's the receipt? You didn't get the receipt, so you don't. All you've got is a bag of groceries, but you don't know what you spent. But I know that I'm short. I'm short by a few quid." And you're standing there thinking, well, it's a lesson learned. Alex, you said this. Oh, the channel has said this years ago. It's unfortunate. The same thing that a lot of West Indian parents used to say to us when we were kids: those who don't listen shall feel. Right? We've been feeling this for the longest time. We have said the amount of times who's going to come in. Isak's going to come in. Bissouma's going to come in. Whoever it was going to come in, and we got shortchanged. We got shortchanged on quite a few occasions. Right? This channel is almost going on 4 years, and every year we say the same thing, that nobody is listening until they feel it, and now they're feeling it. And I'm not really surprised. You know, when I heard that Aubameyang was going, I just wish him all the best. I wish him all the best when we had this conversation last week. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because there was no real way back. I think Arteta, in this like present regime, as it were, you know, he pretty much said goodbye to him. Maybe at during the North London derby, if we have to go back that far. You know, I think that's pretty much was the line in the sand, so to speak. So, but we have been saying this for such a long time, and people are still hacked off now when it happens again. What part of Groundhog Day didn't you understand? What part of it didn't you understand? we said that how there was going to be no transfers. I did. Everyone's saying that transfers in. We said that it'd be best to get rid of those players that didn't do it or can't do it. We've said all this. You know, we are maybe just a bit ahead of the curve. I'm not going to laud in it. I don't want to laud it or anything, but
No, Lord
as
it,
an
Ralph.
Arsenal,
Man. Lord it, Ralph. Because you never know. Maybe Arteta does watch Cannon Foy TV after all.
but the thing is, as Arsenal fans, we all were. It's like a roller coaster. And we all say this. You build up your expectations up to a pitch, and just when you think you're going to get there, you go down again, and then you're going to go around a few spirals, and then all of a sudden, end of the season. Okay, so what did we learn? We learned that we're in eighth place. We learned that we need a central midfield, a central defender. We know we need a striker. We need two strikers. We know we need a defender, either left or right flank, because if we can't just be relying on Cedric or Tierney all the time. You know what I mean? We know Tierney is when he came in, great prospect, but the Achilles heel is that he gets injured, and and when he's injured. That's it. So you know these things. We've been talking about these things for the last few years. And why is it that when there's a break in play, i.e., whether it's COVID, whether it's African Cup of Nations, whether it's just an international break, you can't just sit down and say, okay, I've got 11 players, but have I got an established 11? Have I got an established squad? No. Have I got players that's been winners? FA Cup, a few. Premiership, no. Champions League, definitely not. So what are you planning for? Now, if you're planning for progression, then do things in progressive steps. Get rid of the players that haven't done it. We said this once before, Alex. I said Arteta's got to have his 11, the ones that he think potentially can do it, and have to get rid of the ones that can't do it. How many times do you have to play Xhaka? I have to pull him up. I know there's one or two people that really like him. How many times do you have to play Xhaka to see that he cannot defend, or he can probably ping a pass 30, 40 yards, but that's his game. That's all he's got. He doesn't have anything else in the locker. Unfortunate, the red card, but how many red cards has he had this season alone? How many times have we said, you know what, we're not going to put up with Xhaka. He was about to go to another team abroad, and then you end up saying to the fans that was not part of the process anyway. He was always going to be in because he's Arteta's man. So how many more clues do we need? We've seen the body, the person's holding the gun, right? He's got a T-shirt saying that he's done it, and yet you're still looking around to see, like, who's done it? Who do you need?
We did a poll. So before I go into the last segment, we did a poll on Cannon Foy TV, and it was the January transfer window has been or
was that the actual word?
No, it wasn't. So the options were: the January transfer window has been the worst, or the January transfer window has been the best. And out of 808 votes, less than a day, 23 hours, the votes are now in. So 12% of you believe it's been the best transfer window. You can hear a pin drop. And 88% of you believe that it's been the worst transfer window.
Where do you sit?
No, for me, it's been the worst, isn't it? It's been the worst, Ralph. But again, I could see this was happening. It was going to happen. the moment, I think we're probably a few days into the transfer window, and I don't watch many Arteta press conferences anymore. I think, I can't be asked. But the one I saw when he was talking about the transfer window, and he said usually transfer windows are very, very difficult to be going out and buying players. I said, but you didn't
You knew
follow
that
up
was
with
it.
say again?
You knew that was it.
That was it, Ralph. That
Mm.
was it. I was thinking, yeah, guys, read between the lines. This guy is saying to us that they're not going to buy any players at all. I said, you know what? They're not buying any players at all. And what happened? They didn't buy any players at all.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I was watching there's some post.
Lines, man.
I'm typing it was. There was some post I'm sure it's on Twitter. And this person said, like 10 minutes to go. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to see if we're gonna get someone in. And I was thinking, oh, I'm sorry, but you got a long wait. You gotta wait till the summer. You gotta wait till the summer. And even then, right? I said I don't know. I think after the season, when we get this season finally over and done with, then we've got the World Cup,
Yeah.
right? We've got another distraction. We've got another distraction. So everybody goes, hey, World Cup! Da, 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 da. You watch, you watch with the transfer window. 2 weeks in, it'll be bedlam. There'll be no signings. 2 weeks in, there'll be pure bedlam because we won't sign anyone yet. I'm saying that early. So if Arteta does watch this, he knows then he's got 2 weeks of the summer transfer window to get his affairs in order. Otherwise, it's going to be like it's going to be like the other consistent ways that it's happened. We wait till the very last week. We get somebody in that all the fans will be thinking, well, where's he from? Why we picked up another youngster? How comes we're getting Chelsea cast-offs or potentially Liverpool cast-off or potential Leicester cast-off, right? You watch how it's going to go. First 2 weeks in, it'll be bedlam. The last week of the transfer window, we'll get something like that kind of scenario.
Ralph, one question for you before I go into the last segment. You remember when we were at the Emirates the last time together, what we were doing there? Well, it's supposed to be like a protest, isn't it?
Yeah.
End of the season. Do you think the fans are going to protest at the end of this season?
No.
No.
No. No. I'll tell you why. Purely because human nature. We want this season to be done with. We're not in any cups, right? We're not in Europe. All the things that I thought, and most Arsenal fans potentially thought would make the team perform, because there's no real. You only got to go and beat the team in front of you. You're not training extra hard because you've got a midweek match in Europe, or you got a European fixture, or you got a cup fixture. Just play the match, the games in front. That's why we always say, Alex, that we're just thinking about the next match. We're not thinking straight ahead, because we know what Arsenal's like. Yeah. We know what Arsenal's like, so we just want to take one match at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you see? I'm not sure if you saw the show. It must have been probably on Tuesday. Some guy in the chat was saying, "Oh, but statistically, we can make top four because the first half of the season is over. The second half of the season is going to be a lot easier." And I said, "But hang on a minute. The first half we played the teams, whether it's home or away. The second half of the season we're going to be playing the same teams. So how is it going to be a lot more easier the second half of the season?" And the guys come with all these statistics. I said, "Look, mate, you know what? Just forget it, man." He said, "No, but the next 4 games we can get." I said, "Look, no. That's not the way we roll here. The next game is the next game, and that's the only game we need to be focused on. Don't think about, oh, in February we can probably get 10 points, and that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But the guys throwing all the statistics at me, Ralph. So go, Ralph.
It never ever works the way that you want it to work. Never ever works the way you want it to work, right? Whatever that guy is drinking, I suggest that he bottles it and gives it to us at the end of the season,
I don't want
because
it, man.
we could be needing something to keep us jolly. You know what I mean? But I statistics, you can bend them to your will.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Arsenal was doing. If you remember, Gazidis with his metric system and all his metrics. Actually, there's a film called I think it's called Moneyball, with Brad Pitt and Steve. What's his name now? He's the voice of Gru. He was in the Office, the American version. Steve Carell.
All right. Okay.
And it's all about some baseball team, and they were trying to use the metric system in terms of averaging where the team was going to be. And it kind of nearly worked out, but it's all bets and everything else. It's interesting to watch. Anyone who wants to watch it, you can watch it just to see how the Americans use that kind of system. No doubt they probably feel that it's the kind of system we should adopt. And even then, when Gazidis is long gone since, that metric system, if they're still using that metric system to say, well, actually, potentially, we could actually, with that angle of a hypotenuse, we can potentially get this. It's a whole lot of the low Hillary. So, no.
Not interested.
Not interested.
All right, let's go to the last segment. The last segment, now that we know certain players are going to have been sold, certain players have been put out on loan, some players left on a free, all the elements you find only at one place, and that's at Arsenal FC. So I thought I'll come up with my 11 going forward for the second half of the season. So guys, you can come in live chat, you can let us know your thoughts, what 11 you would like to see playing for the remaining 17 games of this season. So this is my 11. This is my 11, and I'm looking at possibly.
Wow, you got a full squad.
I'll take it off. Right. My 11. This is my 11. So I've got Ramsdale, Ingo. Back four: Tomiyasu, Gabriel, William Saliba, Kieran Tierney, and then I've got in the midfield again four across the midfield. I've got Saka, Ødegaard, Thomas Partey, and surprise, surprise, Pepe. And I've got it in at the number 10 position. Emma Smith-Rowe. And we've got a lone striker, Martinelli. So no room for Lacazette. No room for Lacazette. So that is my 11 that I would have loved to have seen going forward, because I know William Saliba is not with us. He's still out on loan, isn't he? So if I had the powers, have the power in my hands, that would be my 11 going forward, playing the remaining 17 games. But come into the live chat, let me know, what your desired 11 would be to play for the remaining 17 games of the season. All right, let's go into the live chat. Unless, Ralph, do you want to give me your 11, or you want to give me your 11 in a few minutes?
Well, I go along with your back four, but you seriously will have Pepe. What about Partey?
No, I did say Partey. I said Partey.
You said Partey, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, you said Ødegaard.
I said Saka, Ødegaard, Partey, and Pepe.
Okay.
And then Smith-Rowe in a number 10, and then he'll just be playing behind
Martinelli. Nothing up front.
Yeah.
Lone striker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 4-4-1-1 formation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go along with that. I'll go along. Yeah. What's the future looking like for Saliba at this moment in time? Does he feel that he wants to come back to Arsenal? If you remember, James reckoned that we've seen the last of him. We're not going to get him back.
I don't think we'll get him back. I don't think we're
getting back.
I think Arteta, in his infinite wisdom, might extend the loan spell. I can't see him playing for Arsenal, at least in the senior squad again. Again, he never played in the senior squad anyway. But yeah, I'd be hard to see him.
I think maybe this may be a bit of an insidious thought here, but I think maybe Arteta. This was the start, wasn't it, of
Yeah,
Arteta aiming to. Why would he have done that to a young player who hadn't kicked a ball for Arsenal?
yeah, yeah. You're not going to see
So
him. You won't see him.
no, I don't think we want to see him. But
All right, let's
just
go.
one. We need we need an extra goalkeeper,
Yeah, yeah.
and we're
Well,
going to need.
I joked on yesterday's show that Arsenal are a little bit short. So anyone like only strikers and midfielders need apply. So anyone in the live
Ah,
chat,
damn it!
yeah, sorry, Ralph, man, sorry.
I could probably last maybe about 10 minutes of the first half, and then you have to sub me off.
I said I can play for 10 seconds.
You know
Right, let's
what?
go
We
to
should do, we should do like a FIFA 11, as it were. And then you do your FIFA 11, I'll do my FIFA. So get El Tel to officiate, and then we'll see how it goes.
Hey, there's a quick question, Ralph. You remember when we did our all-time Arsenal 11, didn't we?
We did.
It was it only with Terry, or was it with somebody else?
No. Hang on a minute. We did. What was it now? We did. We did do. We did do a 11.
Yeah.
I think the plans were to do an all-time 11. What be your dream 11 would be? I think I think that's one of the plans that we wanted to do, was to do a dream 11.
But when did we do that 11? So you did your 11, Terry did his, and I did mine. Because I was trying to go back and
It was a long time ago. It was a long time
right.
ago. At least about a year, easy a year.
All right, I need to try and find it and upload it back. All right, let's go to the live chat and see who's joined us on this Wednesday afternoon show. And we've got our moderator for the afternoon show, DWTT, says, good day, Alex and Ralph. Good day, sport.
Good day, mate. Good day, sport.
And we've got Chilosha, who says, we're so tired of being given false hope for new signings. How can we even compete like this? Well, we can't. We can't, can we? We can't. And just to imagine, yeah, go on.
I just want to say, come in there. This may be a bit of I suppose, a watershed moment. Don't give yourself any kind of false hope from something that you can't really control. That Arsenal is not. We can't control it. We can support them, support our team. But when they say, for example, we're active in the transfer market, don't hope that something's going to happen. Like Alex would say, and I would say, wait until they actually got a player in and he's holding up the shirt, he's at the desk, he's signing the contract, he's kicking the ball at the Emirates, he's introduced to the team players, and that's it. Hoping doesn't get you jack. I hope that I'm going to bump into a Halle Berry at some point. At some time, that ship's never going to sail unless I got over to the States and make. But then that's called stalking, so that's something totally different. But hoping, don't hope. Best thing to do, have a bit of anticipation, but don't hope.
Yeah. He goes on to say that Pepe has failed at Arsenal. And Rebecca says, for some reason, good vibes. Good vibes. Okay, thank you for that, Rebecca.
Good vibes. Hey, has she entered the competition?
I have no idea. What competition, Ralph?
The competition.
Ralph.
The competition, Alex. Where are we going to give away?
We can talk about it towards the end of the show. Really missed out on the Vlahovic guy because we're not ruthless enough when it comes to signing good goal scorers.
No, he didn't want to come.
Exactly. I'm not going to even challenge
that. Want to come.
My brother said he didn't even want to come anyway. DWTT goes on to say that, are we still talking football? Yeah, we are. Just tell me about yourselves. Gotten what? Good home projects you have completed 5 games in 2 months. 1,000 cuts. Yeah, death by 1,000 cuts, man. Dearie me. Good old Terry Wade. Good afternoon, Terry.
Later.
Good afternoon, Alex and Ralph. What else do we have here? I see we're after a freebie in the summer from Germany. I'll follow that up at some stage. If I play for Arsenal, my only fear would be Arteta wants to keep me here. Is that not a good thing? Players get called Arteta's office, come in with suitcase packed, get bad news, crying on way to what? The dress for practice. Oh, oh my goodness. John Guna. John Guna's in the live chat. Good afternoon, mate. Tell you wait, this is how far we have fallen now. Outrageous. It's outrageous.
Outrageous.
Ralph, you make good points, but Arteta only knows one thing. There's the door. Get out.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Clucking Bell, good afternoon to you, mate. Says hi, Alex. Firstly, an apology for slating Arteta in letting Auba leave for nothing. We never learned the lesson, do we? Never learned the lesson. And actually, I saw further down that John Guna says, we actually had to pay him money to get out of Arsenal. It turns out Arsenal paid him 7 million, to terminate his contract. My bad. Sorry. Yeah. We never learned the lesson. Alex, Arteta is the teacher with students sitting outside the door and the rest at the headmaster's office. And all you hear is screaming from inside the classroom.
I tell you, that brings back memories. That's
let me out, let me out.
Oh, dearie
me. Arteta in the all crisis. I'm not so sure. What do you think, Ralph? Do you think Silent Stan backed Arteta to get rid of Auba?
No, I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe if Arteta's got a plan to get a striker, that might be one of the conditions.
Yeah.
It may be that. Maybe that's the reason why he was at that Rapids game.
Yes, I've lost it. I want change. I won't see it until the summer. I mean 2 weeks before the summer window closes. We all want change, don't we? John says, Dion says, John Guna, I don't think he backed him 100% because we got no one in the door. Was okay with Auba gone, but not with incomings. Nothing at all. What else is there? Let's have a look so I can put in somebody else. Far says Arteta should please relax. Relax. He is relaxed because we would come one day and not have players to work with. What else? What else do we have here? Simply bring somebody else. Another comment. What's this? 12%. Where do they get their info from? The BBC or from Spurs? Probably from Spurs. Look. All right. Okay, John. This will be the last one before Ralph will talk about his competition. 17 games, 51 points up for grabs. What's everyone saying? I'll go for 40 points. About that. Anyway, Ralph, yes, your moment to talk about your competition.
Okay, so this competition was a couple of weeks ago. I extended it until February 20th. So it is 2 questions. First question is, which player has received most man of the match awards this season thus far? And the second question is, how many trophies has the Arsenal women won in their entire history? So when we get the final count, the winners will be notified on the 20th of February, and it's 2 kits for 1 each for the recipient, male and female. They have the choice of either having the home kit, the away kit, and the third kit. Not the Piccadilly line seats.
Mind the gap. Mind the gap.
mind the gap kit, pre-training kit, or whatever it's meant to be kit. It's just the 3 kits. The winners will have a choice of either one of those: home kit, away kit, or the third kit. And yeah, be greatly appreciated for you to participate in this. And who knows what may happen when we reach our next target of subscribers and viewers.
And guys, don't forget, do not put your answers in the live chat. Send us an email, arsenalrepublic1@gmail.com. The email is actually in the description box below. So do not put your answers in the live chat. It's not going to count. So for you to qualify, you've got to be a subscriber or follower on all platforms. And you must send your answers by email, not in a live chat. arsenalrepublic1@gmail.com. Let's go through this last few comments. Let's see if we can wrap one up inside an hour. What do we have here? Oh, well, we've got one here who says, DWTT, what makes it more shambolic is Barcelona put in a £100 million buyout clause in the August contract. You just couldn't make it up, could you? No, you can't. You can't. Just absolutely ridiculous.
Was it that Uber said that when we was trying to get him signed in, he said that how I want to be a legend at this club.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, John says, loving your merch, Ralph. Yeah.
Thank you very much, John.
If you want Callum Footy TV merch, again, the link to our merch store is in the description box below. There's a few more. Let's have a look. You are funny. We got 36 points in 19 games. We're a full squad and a few mid games. Our currently unscheduled midweek games are versus Chelsea, Liverpool, that team, and Wolves. Yeah, 30 points. Oh, my goodness. See if we can pull anybody else that's new in the live chat. This is one for you, Ralph. DWTT says, Ralph, Moneyball requires discipline. When you think of discipline at Arsenal, what do you see? New shirts every month. Every month.
You see, the thing about, I'm sure most of our Arsenal fans and most English, I say English, any fans who look at the Premiership, and we do comparisons. We do comparisons against La Liga, the Bundesliga, up and down the country, overseas and everything else. The thing that sets up the Premiership is the fact that 40 for a season, 40 matches. You've got Sky, you've got BBC, you've got ITV, you've got BT Sports, you've got everyone clamoring for their piece of the pie for the Premiership. They have all the prospective stations in those countries, but the Premiership is the top cherry. It's the cherry on top of the cake. Okay. Now, when you've got clubs that are fueled by big money, i.e., we're one of them, they're all clamoring for the top spot. When I supported Arsenal, I was a kid. The very first time I saw Arsenal win the FA Cup, I didn't have any kind of awareness about how much a player costs, because to me it's all about seeing my favorite player score this brilliant goal, hoping that the one day I'll be able to see him, as we did. And the club is literally in my area. I didn't think about money, how money can influence or can overtake a situation. All we had to do is look at what happened last year with the Super League to see how passionate us fans about football really are. So money plays a big part, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't, but it comes a point when it seems to be more about the money and rather than about the player. We don't seem to be getting players who want to just play for Arsenal. If we get them in young, there's no guarantee that they will stay at the club for the length of their playing career, because certain things happen. But this behemoth, giant juggernaut has got one person at the top, and he's not steering the club in the right direction. He's not present at all the games. He's over in the States. He would rather look at the stuff happening over there. Hence the reason why their model of franchise is very different to the invested interest that we have at this club. They see it from two different views. We see it because we want, the way that we see it is the way that it's established. There's a right way of doing it. Hence the reason why, when we talk about the Arsenal way, it's the right way of doing things. The owners have their set agenda, and it hasn't interwoven. If anything, it's been at loggerheads. And it's been loggerheads for such a long time. Frustrating, but that's where we are at this moment in time as well.
Glenn Kitely, good afternoon, brother. Says, since Raz made a Moneyball reference, which movie does Arsenal remind you of? War and Peace.
I say Groundhog Day.
I said, I wouldn't describe Arsenal as any kind of film. I'll probably describe Arsenal as a genre, a disaster movie. It's a disaster, isn't it?
You know what? I want us to go back to fever pitch. If we can get back to fever pitch.
Yeah. That's a good reference there, man. Oh, dearie me.
Oh, no.
Dumb and Dumber. Anyway, moving on. Bang on 11. The Alex, yeah. Thank you for that clocking bell. Thank you very much. Guys, just a couple more. I do want to wrap this up inside an hour. Tomiyasu wasn't seen in practice video. Cedric could be starting right back. Won't matter who else starts. The Wolves will attack from their left side. I'm scared. Yeah. Do you know, we'll come to an end. We'll come to an end this one. What I've forgotten to say to each and every one of you, I know I've mentioned about the East Talk. There's no East Talk this Friday. We'll be back next Friday, as will the Canon Project. On the 12th of February, we're going to have a special guest. It's not going to be Arsenal related, not going to be football related, but we're going to have a special guest coming on the show on Saturday, the 12th of February. So put that in your diaries, please. Saturday, the 12th of February, 11 a.m. UK time. Now you're probably thinking, what is it all about, Alex? I'm not going to tell you. If I told you, then you guys wouldn't come in. So put it in your diary. Saturday, the 12th of February, 11 a.m. UK time. We're going to have a special guest. And when I say special, it's with a capital L. Special. Special.
Special. Special. It's not the professor, is Alex.
I don't know, Ralph. I don't know. You have to Ralph, thanks for coming back on the platform, man. It's been
no
good.
worries.
The hour's gone very, very quick, man. So quick.
Okay.
All right. I imagine my brother might be doing a watch long. Is it February 8th? We're back in action against Wolves. But I know that my brother will tell you, as well when he'll be back in action.
I'm
Yeah,
still
doing
sorting my.
his watch alongs. But until then, thank you to our moderator. There's only one moderator in the live chat. Thanks so much to all the viewers. I saw the numbers like just creeping up. I think 50 or so 50 at any one time, which is not bad actually for a Wednesday show. And all the dust is now hasn't settled yet. The dust,
No.
nah, it's still there, still up in the air, man. But not bad, not bad. But until then, I shall see you tomorrow morning. Yeah, we're back doing the morning show, giving some kind of like news in regards to Arsenal. Arsenal, yeah, I forgot Arsenal. Ralph, thanks again. Do you want to do the outro, Ralph?
Why not, guys? We're so glad that you came, but now it's time for us to go. But if you want to know what you've been watching this fantastic channel, Cannon Fodder TV. The program, the channel for all Arsenal fans all around this world. Take care, guys.